Good morning, everybody. Afternoon or evening, whenever you are deciding to tune in. My name is Chrissy Smith. This is Nine Lives Energy, and together we help energize your body from the inside out. If you're interested in any of the supplements that I am taking, which have taken years off of my life, I am 45 years old and I feel like I am 25. If you are interested in reducing chronic inflammation, improving your energy, then in the description box below, you can find the link tree link that will take you to the supplements that I am taking. Please feel free to message me if you are interested in improving your health, and we can have a conversation about how to get you back on the track to improve your energy. But what I'm really excited about today is to have my friend Deborah Robinson with us today, who's going to be celebrating her 66th birthday on July 17th, which is a magical day because the nodes of fate are going to be changing in the sign of Aries for the North Node. Now, my sun is in Aries and my rising sign is in Leo. And so basically what is happening is I am having a nodal reversal. And I honestly feel like I am going back in time to when I was about 28 to 30 years old, when my life was challenged, and I'm getting a do-over. And so I am so glad to have my friend Deborah with me today, because in order to advance as a soul, as an Aries, I learned from the sign behind me, which is Cancer, in order to be more like the sign ahead. Or is it Leo? I'm sorry, I'm still learning astrology. This is why I'm aligning myself with people who know more than me, because that's how I learn. But anyway, without further ado, we are going to introduce Deborah with us, who is an astrologer in the triad. If you would like a personalized birth chart reading from her, please look in the description box below for her information. So, Deborah, first of all, happy birthday.
Thank you, love.
And second off, you also have a new moon in your sign on Cancer on Monday, which I know is greatly going to be affecting you, along with the nodal change, which is going to be happening for the collective for the next 18 months. So, Deborah, what have you been up to since we took our magical walk in the forest?
Well, I have actually started water aerobics. Woohoo! So excited about that. I mean, the teachers at the Aquatic Center here in Greensboro, when I say they work you, that work you. But that water, I just so love it. And being a Cancer, water, Pisces, water, Cancer, ascended water. So just hanging around the water and just really reminiscing and looking over soon to be 66 years, which will be official on the 17th, which is Monday. So I am so excited about that. Hung out with you a little bit for the weekend, went to a wedding and a reception, and just having an absolute enjoyment of life, because that's what it is. Loving the happiness, and happiness is always available. I was reading that this morning, that happiness is a conscious decision. And that's what I've been doing. So I was like, yay me, I'm on the right track for having a conscious decision in being happy. No one else will do it for you. There's nothing outside of you, material wise, relationship wise, or anything, other than being happiness is within and always readily available. And all we have to do is just keep tapping in.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, tell us about first of all, we'll talk about the nodes in just a minute, but something that I feel like I want to talk about first is the new moon in Cancer, because that is your beautiful sign. And yeah, I need to be pulling out my chart so I can see the astrology thing. Like I said, I'm still kind of learning this stuff, but folks, it's so magical to me. And in fact, I love it so much that I've memorized all these hieroglyphics in one day. And I said, this is what I need to be putting a little bit more energy into, because it makes me so happy. And I'm glad to be learning from the Cancer moon, my friend Deborah Robinson. So tell me about the new moon and what that means for you and what that means for the collective.
Okay, the new moon is always that time frame when we have a fresh start, when we can set new intentions for whatever it is, whether it's money, whether it's a job or new relationship, or working on the current things that we already have, setting intentions for those things, and it's that time when we manifest. And if you don't understand what the new moon is, when you look in the heavens on Monday, it'll be a dark sky. That is the first phase of the lunar happenings each month. So to me, it's like a dark moon. It's that time when we can go in and be still. And whether you have a journal or whether you have a diary that you're writing these intentions down. Now, you asked the question about me. Now, I probably won't ever forget this, and it will occur again. But however, for the new moon to fall on my birthday, I'm like, that's real special, girl. And so, looking at that, and what my intentions are. First of all, is just to stay in full gratitude for all that is and all that will be, because I know that the universe has my best interest always, and so do I. So do I have learned to have my best interest at heart, and following that part, when you talk about cancer, cancer is that energy that is full of nurture. It's full of filling. It's really a lot of filling. And its rulership is the moon. So isn't that something? And the moon is that entity that rules our emotional life. It rules that subconscious part of us, that part that we don't pay attention to a lot. We're a lot into the consciousness, but the subconscious brings things up to the conscious so that we can take action. But cancer individuals have a tendency to be about family, big time. Family is their center, very mothering to protect the family. And we have a lot of counseling energy. People have a tendency to come to us. Sometimes we can overprotect. Sometimes we can be oversensitive, and you have to look at those things as well. And if you don't mind, Chrissy, I'll just flow right on into the North Node because it's like blending all
Do
together
it,
right
baby.
now.
Do it.
Okay. So when you talked about, your sun being in Aries, and this nodal change is all about the North Node being in Aries and the South Node being in Libra. And with my chart, my Aries is in my 10th house because in astrology, we have 12 houses, just like we have 12 signs. So each one represents a house. Mine is the 10th house, which is all about career, your job, what you're doing, and making networks in that regard. And then when you have Libra, that's all about partnerships, negotiations, judges, balancing. But the main thing when it comes to Aries, the key word for Aries is I am. And its glyph or its symbol is the ram. And if you've seen two rams come together, and the majority of the times when they're coming together, it is because they are ready to mate. And when you hear the clanging noise, and it protects them, so it's not hurting anything. But when they come together, it is territorial. It is the leadership. I want this. I got this. And it's the boldness. It's our courage. And it is this time that the North Node is shifting to the Aries so that we can become our authentic self. Well, Deborah, what are you talking about in becoming your authentic self? Because we've had so much conditioning from our parents, from society, from culture, from our government, anybody who took care of us, our caretakers when we were growing up as children. Those individuals had a lot of influence as to what our lives are, where they are, and what they are now. But then we have to ask our question: is that my true self, or am I being someone else's somebody? And so that's where the Libra energy is going to come in at, because Libra is the only sign that does not have a symbol or a glyph. It actually has the scales of justice as its glyph, which is all about balance. And so this 18-month time frame is to allow us to become who we really are. And we will have that hidden force from the universe, from the planet, the stars, and the heavens that are saying it is above. And so now it's going to be below. We are going to come into these beautiful, magnificent, magical. I love that word when you talk about magic, because it is magical. So these things are going to be downloaded to us so that we will have the balance in knowing our true, authentic selves and stepping into the courage and having the courage to do this. Also, when you look at Aries, its ruling planet is Mars, the red planet. It is the planet of aggression. It is the planet of war. And at the same time, it is the planet of passion. It is our drive. It's our physical being. And when we get out and take care of our bodies, and that's another thing, our physical health, the exercise. So it's focusing on us taking care of these bodies that house these wonderful souls on the inside of us. So doing the work is very pivotal at this time. So we do, again, need to spend time walking, swimming, walking in the woods, running, taking our supplements, eating healthy, and that helps us to become our authentic self, along with meditation and whatever it is, just stilling the self long enough that you can ask the question, who am I? And that within will respond to you. You just have to be listening, and you have to be ready for truth. It doesn't always give you the okay, okay, okay. It brings those things up that are keeping us at bay from being our authentic self. And you just have to not be in a resistance, because the more it's in resistance, the more it persists. But however, you got to remember, as I said, that these changes are very collective in nature. And so the walls of resistance are coming down. They're coming down so that we can come from the heart of the perspective. Now, when you look at Libra, its ruling planet is Venus. Venus is beauty, it's love. And I can stop right there and talk about love all day long. And right now, Venus is located in Leo, and it's going to be there for a while because it's getting ready to go retrograde. And what does retrograde mean in astrology? It is all the rethink, reanalyze, whatever you want to say with the It's to do over again. It means to slow down. So those things that we have called love, they're not really love, because they are so external. And love is within, then without. So we really have had a false sense of what it is, because when you have true love, it's very unconditional, very non-judgmental, where, number one, with the self. So Libra with the South Node is going to focus on looking in those areas where we have partnered with anything, whether it's our work, whether it's our home, whether it's our intimate relationships, whether they have been authentic or not, and bringing the balance in it. That's the whole idea of we've got to have some balance, because when things are teetering up or teetering down, that's not balance. And so we've got to be able to, in this 18-month time, be receivers, because we're giving, and a lot of things we learned as children, especially the disservice that we was learned is you take care of others, then take care of yourself. That's backwards. We have to take care of ourselves, and then you have the ability to be that authentic, so that the service that we are giving, it's heartfelt, it's true of the psychic abilities that we have, the intuitiveness that comes from within where we're sharing, and people can feel it. So in other words, it runs from heart to heart and breast to breast, not head to head. We've
Mm-hmm.
done that so much that it's been very intellectual, and it's been very feeling, very emotional. And those emotions have been so out of balance because we've used just the senses of ourselves to be able to tell whether we're in a relationship. And that's not a true measure of it. But when it comes from the heart, we're more forgiving, we're more peaceful, we're more happy, we are more blessed. We see the abundance when there doesn't look like there is any, and abundance is everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
There is nothing that does not have abundance in it. It's
Oh
there is no abundance, but there is always abundance. I was looking at today to see where the elements were in the heaven. We've got the moon that's in Taurus right now, right? But we've actually got 5 planets that's in Earth. And I'm like, wow, that's a lot of Earth energy. That's dealing with the practicality of things, and that is the peace of things, that's the abundance of things, that's our agriculture. So within that, we can give gratitude for Mother Earth and Mother Gaia as she continues to give. We just have to be receptive. So during this 8 month time, I'll reiterate it again. In Aries, get your confidence so that you can do whatever it is that you're going to do. I know that's going to be my new moon wish, keeping my confidence. It's building. And remember, this stuff is a process. It didn't happen overnight that we are like we are, and it takes time. So be patient with yourself. When we are patient with ourselves, guess what? Then we will be patient with others as well. And we do need it because we can see that the anger that's on our
no.
planet, oh my goodness gracious, it's off the hither.
Well,
It
it's
really
because
is.
it's because of these things right here, the instant gratification with a
That's
lack of
part
patience,
of it.
the lack of patience with ourselves, the lack of patience that we have for others, the lack of patience others have for us, you know, and I'm guilty as charged because I want what I want yesterday. And it's very hard for me to think about how much I've grown since knowing you a year ago. I mean, look at us.
Yeah,
We're doing some magical things. I never would have thought a year ago that this is where I'd be, but guess what? I am so grateful I am.
I am too. When I tell you, yeah, patience is definitely a virtue, meaning that it's beautiful. It looks good on you and it feels good on you. And I just constantly remind myself when I see other people that are out of sort, I send good vibes to them because I don't know what's going on in
Yeah.
their life. And when I get off kilter, I simply know that I have a big support system. So I call somebody and I express, what's going on with me, and to have that feedback, to have the reminder of that person that is speaking in my life at that particular time. And so then I'm able to get back on because energy is everywhere and it's in everything. And so the more we realize that what other people are doing, um, it's a lot. It is a lot. And again, when we're not patient, you don't even have to feel guilty about it. Just stop and say, let me do better.
Yeah.
It's always room to do better, and quickly forgive yourself and get back on board. That's what I do when
Yeah.
somebody's mean or angry or whatever. I give them a smile, and again, I don't say it all loud and all of that, but I send them good vibes, that things in their life will work out, because there is still a lot of stress and a lot of pressure going on. And my daughter told me this morning that it was snowing in Africa. Did you hear that?
No, I don't watch the news.
I was like, now, wow, yes. And they was like, it has not snowed in Africa in
Wow.
centuries. So just let you know that our landscape is changing on this planet. And again, so much awareness is coming about, so that us as individuals, we can take care of our planet, and we're part of that. Take care of ourselves, and then as a collective, I
Mm,
can't wait to see the results
I
after these
know.
18 months have
Me
passed,
either.
what's going to come of this. So, yes, relationships are high on it. And Libra has to do with our judicial systems as well, that have not had equality. So that's interesting to see. We are seeing a lot of things where things are still coming up to the surface as to those things that are truth and those things that are not the truth. So hang in there, hang on there, stay positive, be bold, be confident, be the leaders that we are. Everybody is a leader. When you're Aries, and we all have some Aries content within us, be the
Mm.
best that you can be. And again, the downloads that are coming from the heavens are here and supporting us and helping us become the very best beings that we can be.
What I think I'm the most excited for in the next 18 months is the fact that, the veil is slowly lifting, or getting thinner, however you want to say. And with that comes downloads or prayers answered, or just these intuitions like, I think I need to be doing this. And I think people are going to be stepping into a lot of their gifts,
Yes,
gifts that are going to be enhanced even more, or more gifts, because you are able to receive, because your body is lighter in order to receive it, because you're not holding on to so much, um I'm not,
garbage.
ugliness, or sadness and depression, just things that kind of keep you in those loops of
Yeah,
having lack mentality mindset, or a lack of abundance mindset. And
right.
abundance comes in so many different forms. I mean, I don't know if I've expressed this to you or not, but I was actually going to do a presentation on this later this week. And I'm glad that we're talking about this today, because it was about abundance. And I know when I help somebody and my heart is in the right place, like I am helping you because you are helping me indirectly. There was a man who was living with me temporarily in the end of 2021, because he was helping me help somebody. And I couldn't help this person that much anymore, give the time and the resources to them that I once did, because school was starting back. And so I didn't have the time available. Anyway, I manifested this man, and he helped, with the campaign of this person. And before he left, he said, you've been so kind to let me stay here. The least I could do would be to help you build this fence. And I said, oh, you don't have to do all that. He says, I know I don't have to. And I said, well, if you're going to do it, then I'm going to help you. He says, oh, I know you are. So I was like, yay, I get to learn how to use some like good handyman tools. So I learned how to use 3 different saws. We went to my stepdad's shop and got all that. I cut every board. I nailed every board. And then when the nails started coming up, because I screwed it on, I screwed every board on. And then this past spring, I painted the fence, and I think I spent more money painting the fence than I did actually with the wood and renting the thing to go into the ground. But it's like, because I helped someone, that fence would have cost me probably $3,000, and it cost me about 600, maybe
When
seven.
I say, I've seen that
And I'm like,
space,
look
and
at
it's
the
beautiful.
abundance in my life because I gave to somebody.
Yeah,
And, when I was personal training, I would trade out services all the time: haircut, taxes, chiropractic care, energy work. And I'm
yes.
really excited to go see an energy therapist today that I haven't seen probably since that time period in my life. And just to get her to see how I've grown and kind of stepped into my my power. I'm just going to say my power, because everybody
Yes,
has power. Everybody
Yeah,
has power, but when you step into your gifts, that is your power. That's your superpower.
indeed.
We're all our superheroes.
Yes, we are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Well,
I think I
is there
did see that
anything?
fence. I just wanted
I'm
to let
sorry.
everybody know. I just wanted to let everybody know that I did see that fence, and it is a very good qualitative fence. It looks very good on your place.
Thank you.
And
I
you're right.
appreciate
When we give, that's the law of reciprocity. It is going to give back. And a lot of people just minimize giving to just money and they think that that's the only way. But the highest is when you giving of service. And when it comes back, that is so powerful. And that's a lot of how I operate. And one of my friends had to bring it to my attention because I was so focused on the lack of money. And she was like, Deborah, do you realize how many things come back to you and it's not about money? And I was like, I had not paid it attention. And she started naming them because I had told her the stories of them, just me being myself. And so I was like, oh, wow. So that helped me to understand you don't always have to have money to be able to be of service to someone. Being of service to one is it has so many retributions that can come back to you, reciprocity that comes back to you. So thank you, Christy, for being of service and letting us know about bartering. There's so many things like with Taurus, their keyword is I have. So, doing these 2.5 days, we can think about what we do have, and that will help to just dismantle what I don't have, what I don't have. And that's lack mentality, looking at what you don't have. But when you look at what you do have, it's pretty abundant.
it. Yeah. That's probably why I enjoy walking in the woods now. I'm such a fiery Aries. And that's kind of how I kind of calm my energy is being around Taurus. And it really has uh, cre- created kind of a different mindset. Like I have a ton of resources and I'm very thankful for those. Yeah, my resources may not look like other people's, but my life is very abundant and I wake up every morning pretty happy. Number one, I'm not in pain because I started treating myself like I love me, whatever that looks
Yeah.
like, including dressing up like a cat and walking in the woods. Who cares? That's my. And you know what? When you were talking about, Aries is giving the north nodes are shifting, so it's giving you the ability to take charge. It's the first sign in the zodiac, folks, which
Yes.
means it is the initiator, it is the go getter, it is the what do you want to be? You are 100% going to be supported by the universe for the next 18 months. So get into your mind like, what does your routine look like? Are you treating your body healthy so that when you do get these gifts, you are going to be able to be of service to other people in order to get the things that you need back into your life of abundance? Deborah just mentioned starting her water aerobics classes. My routine is, starting to walk into the woods and take away some of the coffee that I was drinking so much of and do more supplementation in the morning, walking barefooted. Just treating my body like I love me and treating exercise as a celebration of what your body can do, not a punishment for something that you ate. So,
Mhm.
think about how you want the next 18 months to kind of shape for you. What do you want to be doing? Do you still want to be
Yeah.
in that relationship that no longer serves you? Is that the relationship with yourself that no longer serves you? Is it a relationship with someone else? Maybe your relationship with money and you constantly say, I have to work, I have to work, I have to work. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough money. Instead of saying, look at what all I do have with the resources that I have available to me. Yeah, I may not have a bunch of money sitting in the bank for a rainy day, but I have food right here in front of me that
Wow.
somebody else prepared for me because these are leftovers that I had from that meal. I mean, think about it. That's just abundance.
It is.
Mm.
And you said something that just jarred my memory too, because we're going to have a grand cross on the 17th too. And the grand cross has to do with the cardinal energy, which is the very first sign each time a season happens, which is Cancer, which is Libra, which is Capricorn, and the other one is Aries. Exactly, the main one. And so that's a lot. They're initiators, like you said. So to me, that's a representation with the nodal change too. Again, allowing us to become those initiators, like you were saying, and not being the codependent upon somebody else telling us what to do, that we can stand strong in that initiator that we really are. And it's like, if you close your eyes and be like, I am an initiator, and keep saying that I am, because again, the key word for Aries is I am. So when you add that I am on, you can use that as affirmations.
Yes.
On the new moon day, you can do that. And so that will help that our nervous system to like, oh, they recognizing that I am. And so adding those I ams on there is just absolutely powerful. Even with the Libra and with the we, because we don't want to leave the we out. We just want to balance it. And the key word is we balance. So I am and we are, we balance. So when we have those things in the forefront, it's going into the frontal lobe and changing the dynamics of our cellular system. So it gets deep down on the inside so that we can walk into those things that you're talking about, Chrissy. And we were moving so much stress from our bodies that, because I mean, they're building bigger hospitals everywhere to take care of individuals that have so many health issues. And we are spreading the word that there is alternative to being sick, to the bodies being diseased. And these are ways that we are giving people the opportunity to heal yourself.
Yeah, especially when you're doing the inner work, healing yourself, doing the inner work. And, along with come Aries, because that is my sign. I should know better than anybody what an Aries looks like and how to project that energy in a good way as an initiator, but in a not so good way by being impulsive, being angry, being fiery. I mean, when you think about somebody that's a fiery person or a tantrum, that's an Aries type negative attribute, because you don't know how to balance your energy. Take a big breath.
Yeah.
And in that big breath, think about the two scenarios. If I explode, what's going to happen? If I remain quiet, or if I kind of breathe for a second and kind of put myself in the other person's shoes, then you kind of have a better relationship going on with how you show up in the world and also with that person, because now you're looking at it with a different pair of eyes instead of only thinking about yourself. That's a good part about Aries if it's used in a good way, but it's not a good way when it's used in a bad way. For example, I'm guilty of this as the next person, over talking people. I'm the most important. What I have to say is the most important, and I'm in control, and I'm the leader. And you know what I mean? You learn more when you got to be quiet, and that's something that I continue to work on. But there is acknowledgement, awareness, and then there is acceptance. Yes, this is true about me. Not continue to overtalk people, or even if I do, quickly say, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I did not realize that I was overtalking you. I'm working on that. Please finish. And then who cares if you forgot what you were going to say? It ain't important anyway, because you obviously weren't listening to what the person had to say. So when you can laugh at yourself and you can use these funny things and just say, I am so happy that I had this opportunity exposed to me to show me that I'm not as cool as I thought I was. Or you can come at it as being angry. Or if you make a mistake, just say, you should have known better. You are so silly. Move on. Or you can say, I'm so stupid. What if you are the frequency of water and 80% of our body is water, all right, and what you say reverberates into sound, reverberates into frequencies of energy, it does affect you and how you
Yeah,
do the self-talk to yourself.
absolutely.
Yeah. Well,
Absolutely.
do you have anything else to share with us as you approach your magical day? Any words of wisdom that you would like to share? While she's thinking about that real quick, I got to finish my little note. Please make sure that you look in the description. Deb and I went on this magical walk in the woods for her 66th birthday a couple of weeks ago, and it was real fun. We made a reel on it, and it's on Instagram. It was actually the first post that I created on my Instagram 9 Lives Energy account. So please make sure that you look on there. I'm really active on Instagram between 9 Lives Energy and Saturdays with Jinko. Also, check us out on YouTube. Watch on YouTube the story that I did about Deb and her birthday at being 66 and all the valuable information. It was just really cute. So make sure that you watch that in the description below. So Deb, any advice that you would like to share with others as you approach your 66th birthday?
Yes, ma'am. Live life and live it to the fullest. Have fun, stay peaceful, remain hopeful, trust the universe has our highest and our best good, and always be kind to others. Just, I'm telling you, kindness has it has a reciprocity too.
Yeah.
So I love being kind. It's just all in me. I'm just allergic to it in a good way that I
Mm.
can't help myself. So keep spreading kindness and keep spreading love. That's my wisdom for the day.
All right. So, what would your older self say to your younger self? Those same pieces of advice, or would you think about saying something different, looking back on your life and saying, I may not have had any regrets. Okay, I will give you that. But what you could say is, well, there was this one time that.
For real, when I say that book is closed and little Deborah, the inner child was in, she knows that we've got each other. And
Oh,
we support and we take care of each other. And when those fears come up, I tell her, I got you. And look where we've come to. And then I just go right back to the peaceful state, and I know she's okay. As long as she's okay, then the big Deborah is okay. So now my life, I had so many lessons learned that brought me to the place of greater love, Chrissy. And sometimes it makes me tear up because
yeah,
I know what hate is. I used to hate.
yeah.
And now it's like, man, you can't get me to hate if you, I don't care what you did. You just can't get me to hate. I love so deeply sometimes. I'm like, girl, whoo. And when it's sincere from the heart, so that I'm giving out into the world, it's genuine. Whenever I go, I don't go anywhere unintentionally without taking my love self with me because I never know who's going to need some of that energy. And when I walk in somewhere, I know that it's just full of love and people can't help but pick and people look at me and I know that they can feel it. So the light is bright. I have a big light and I'm gonna keep letting it shine. So that's it.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. And you know, when you do learn to love yourself, it is just like you said, when the inner child hugs the adult child, you know, because we're all little kids that grew up, and some of us have that part of ourselves that we don't want to work on either because it's too painful or we think that so much time has passed that it really doesn't matter, and that isn't true. So folks, there's a lot of meditations that I have on the playlist that I have on this account. Please make sure that you look at those. I In my free time, that's what I do. I listen to meditations, or I listen to self-help or inner child healing or a meditation for anger or whatever it is, whatever you feel like you want. Manifestation, sometimes we don't manifest right because maybe our mindset is twisted and we don't think that we can have these things. Yes, you
Right.
can, but it's the stories that you told yourself that says, well, I can only go to this level, so this is where I'm going to stop my goal. That's not what your soul came here to do, folks. And
Yeah.
don't treat yourself like you are subpar. Treat yourself like you are here. How would you treat yourself like you would love you? To give yourself energy back so that you can feel good. All
Yeah.
right. Thank you so much for joining us. Again, if you would like to get an appointment with Deborah, I have her information in the description box below. It has also been on the ticker as it has been going across this screen, which maybe I should have put up a little bit earlier, but it's okay. We had fun today chit-chatting.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Deb, and happy birthday.
Thank you,
Happy
love.
Happy Aries shift. I'm excited
Yeah.
to see what is going to happen with us because you're a cardinal sign. I'm a cardinal sign. The nodes are shifting into my favor, and hopefully, I have learned a lot over the past few years on how to be more like my rising sign, which is the Leo, instead of the fiery Aries that doesn't know how to control her energy. So I think that's why I like the color blue these days now. It kind of puts a little bit of water on that fire and has me thinking in a more calm state like Deborah. All right,
Thank you,
guys. Thank you
Chrissy, for
so much.
having me. Yes.
My name is Chrissy Smith. This is Nine Lives Energy, and together we energize your body from the inside out. Happy Wednesday!
Yes.